I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple.
The courtroom was filled with anticipation as Jay-Z, one of the biggest names in music, faced a legal battle that could change his legacy. Journalists, fans, and industry professionals packed the room, all eager to see how this high-stakes drama would unfold. As the judge walked in, everyone fell silent. This wasn't just any lawsuit. It was a fight for justice that had the world watching. Would Jay-Z come out on top, or was this the beginning of something much bigger?
A waste of judicial resources and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it. This latest legal twist coming after the recently filed civil lawsuit by Jane Doe, claiming that Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy, drugged and a 13-year-old girl at an after-party after the MTV Music Awards in 2000, while an unnamed celebrity watched. Jay-Z has vehemently denied all the allegations, putting out this statement 2 weeks ago, writing in part,
"The lawsuit centers around serious allegations of financial mismanagement, breach of contract, and corporate wrongdoing. Court documents reveal that the case stems from a failed business partnership, with claims that Jay-Z and his team acted unethically. A former business partner argues that Jay-Z didn't fulfill his contractual duties, causing major financial losses. With millions at stake and both sides making strong arguments, a key piece of evidence could tip the case in an unexpected direction."
To some alleged inconsistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial.
Oftentimes, when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people.
Tension in the courtroom reached its peak as the trial continued. The attorneys for both sides argued fiercely, their voices echoing throughout the room. Jay-Z remained calm, his face showing no emotion, while his legal team worked hard to counter the accusations. But everything changed when the opposing side presented a piece of evidence suggesting financial discrepancies. The courtroom murmured as this moment seemed like a turning point in the case. The judge, clearly frustrated with the back and forth between the lawyers, issued a stern warning to both sides.
This morning, Tony Busby, the lawyer representing Jay-Z and Diddy's accuser, releasing a statement to ABC News, writing, "I will say that the coordinated and desperate efforts to attack me as counsel for alleged victims are falling flat. We won't be bullied or intimidated." We also reached out to Jay-Z.
The judge didn't hold back, delivering a sharp critique of the arguments presented. In a calm but firm tone, the judge pointed out that Jay-Z's legal team hadn't provided enough solid evidence to challenge the claims. "This court doesn't run on speculation," the judge declared, quieting the room. The remark sent a shock through Jay-Z's defense, causing his lawyers to scramble for a response. It was clear this legal battle was unlike anything Jay-Z had faced before. Despite the pressure, Jay-Z remained calm, showing the same confidence that had helped him succeed in the music world. Some speculated his silence was part of a strategy to avoid escalating things, while others thought he was genuinely surprised by the judge's tough stance. One thing was clear: how Jay-Z responded in the days ahead would be crucial. Would he fight back with force, or was this the start of a more cautious approach?
Can proceed with the case while remaining anonymous, at least for now, but the judge also chastising the lawyers representing Jay-Z, accusing them of trying to fast-track the judicial process by repeatedly filing motions to reveal the identity of the Jane Doe to have the case dismissed. The judge writing in a 5-page brief that the Carter's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it. This latest legal twist coming after the recently filed civil lawsuit by Jane Doe, claiming that Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy, drugged and a 13-year-old girl at an after-party after the MTV Music Awards.
The legal battle took a new turn when Jay-Z's team repeatedly filed motions to reveal the identity of Jane Doe and have the case thrown out. In a 5-page ruling, the judge criticized Carter's lawyer for using inflammatory language and personal attacks in the motions. The judge called it a waste of time and resources, noting that such tactics wouldn't benefit the client. The court also made it clear that it would not speed up the process just because the lawyer demanded it. This latest legal twist came after a civil lawsuit was filed by Jane Doe, who accused Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy of drugging and assaulting a 13-year-old girl at an afterparty following the 2000 MTV Music Awards. Legal experts quickly weighed in on the case, analyzing it on national television and social media. Some argued that Jay-Z's legal team had a stronger position than it seemed, pointing to past cases where similar claims had been dismissed. Others, however, believed the evidence against him was too strong to ignore. This case had grown beyond just a courtroom battle. It had become a major public issue, sparking heated debate across the country.
To Jane Doe's attorney, his name is Tony Busby. He says that he is representing over 120 accusers of Sean Diddy Combs. This is the first accuser to come forward and name Jay-Z, but he tells me that he stands by his client. He says that they are still vetting her. But when I asked about the vetting process, here's what he told me. He said that 4 individuals at his firm interviewed the client and checked details. He says that a background check was run on Jane Doe and that his firm actually engaged a seasoned investigator to vet some details she disclosed to us. And he said, quote, those results were consistent with what the client had told us. He also says that she has signed 2 separate affidavits, and he tells me, quote, courts exist to resolve factual disputes. Our client remains adamant.
As the trial approached its climax, a shocking piece of evidence emerged, a confidential email exchange that exposed troubling details about financial dealings behind the scenes. The email, reportedly sent by one of Jay-Z's key business associates, suggested an intentional effort to hide financial transactions. The revelation left the courtroom in shock, forcing Jay-Z's legal team into damage control mode. With the credibility of his defense now on the line, the music mogul faced his biggest legal challenge yet.
Consistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare.
As the trial neared its conclusion, a bombshell piece of evidence emerged, a confidential email exchange that raised serious concerns about financial dealings behind the scenes. The email, allegedly sent by one of Jay-Z's key business associates, indicated an intentional effort to hide financial transactions. This revelation stunned the courtroom and put Jay-Z's legal team on the defensive, with the credibility of his defense now at risk. The music mogul was facing his biggest legal challenge yet.
Consistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare.
As the trial reached its peak, a bombshell piece of evidence emerged, a confidential email exchange that revealed troubling financial dealings behind the scenes. The email, allegedly sent by one of Jay-Z's top business associates, hinted at a deliberate attempt to conceal financial transactions. The revelation shocked the courtroom, sending Jay-Z's legal team into full damage control mode. With the credibility of his defense now at stake, the music mogul faced his toughest legal challenge yet.
Against Combs, naming Jay-Z. He has come out with a very long statement saying that this is completely not true and that this is all about trying to get money from him. What do you say about that?
I haven't asked for a dime from him. It's not everything is motivated by money, and I'm sorry that he feels that it is.
This woman also told us on camera last week that this isn't about...
Torres has now ruled that the Alabama woman who says that she was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs when she was 13 years of age can proceed anonymously for now in her lawsuit against the moguls. In her written order, the judge also chastised a lawyer representing Jay-Z for what she described as his combative motions.
Client has against you. We are going to file a lawsuit unless you would like to do a mediation and reach a settlement with us. That's what the lawyer did. That is something that I do all the time, that lawyers do all the time. Most people would prefer to have a settlement before the filing of a lawsuit, and that's why we...
As the trial neared its climax, a bombshell piece of evidence emerged, a confidential email exchange that revealed troubling financial dealings behind the scenes. The email, allegedly sent by one of Jay-Z's key business associates, suggested a deliberate effort to hide financial transactions. This revelation stunned the courtroom and put Jay-Z's legal team on the defensive, with the credibility of his defense now in question. The music mogul was facing his most significant legal challenge yet.
It's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number 3, that she phone called her dad who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, need to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, we'll see what happens if the DA looks and investigates.
Z is accused of 18-year-old girl. That is new in the Diddy lawsuit, and the new allegations are just coming out this evening. Jay-Z is being accused of raping a minor along with Diddy at a MTV VMAs after party back in 2000, according to documents obtained by folks who claimed to work for Diddy, the lawsuit read. He told her that Combs liked younger girls and said that, quote, she fit what Diddy was looking for, not allowing her into the awards, but inviting her to an after party. The 13-year-old, quote, recognized many celebrities upon arrival at the party and was required to sign a non-disclosure agreement. However, she was not given a copy. Combs, who would have been 30 years old at the time, then allegedly attempted to force the girl to perform oral on him. He stopped after she hit him in the neck, according to the lawsuit here. So now Jay-Z being accused in this now 24 years ago of raping a 13-year-old alongside Diddy at an...
As the trial neared its climax, a bombshell piece of evidence surfaced, a confidential email exchange that painted a troubling picture of financial dealings behind the scenes. The email, allegedly sent by one of Jay-Z's key business associates, suggested a deliberate effort to hide financial transactions. The revelation shocked the courtroom and threw Jay-Z's legal team into damage control mode. With the credibility of his defense now at stake, the music mogul was facing his most significant legal challenge yet.
Accused of indecently assaulting a minor in Diddy lawsuit.
Explosive allegations first reported by NBC News being made against rap icon Jay-Z.
A lawsuit that was filed in October of 2024 against Sean Diddy Combs has since been amended to include Jay-Z as a defendant.
The lawsuit was originally filed in October against Sean Diddy Combs, now refiled to openly name Jay-Z as his alleged co-conspirator.
The woman is standing by her story. It happened over 20 years ago. Maybe her memory is hazy. Maybe her father doesn't remember that night.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these details. She says, I'm positive. She points out the tattoo. She talks about the tattoo in vivid detail. Turns out that's completely false. And the father is supposed to be picking her up. 10-hour drive, round trip to pick her up in the middle of the night. Has no memory of that. No one has come forward about this in nearly a quarter of a century, and that's because this never...
House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo, because, I have about his tattoo, that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk.
Statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest. For the alleged, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but that's something that would definitely...
As the trial neared its climax, a bombshell piece of evidence surfaced, a confidential email exchange that revealed troubling financial dealings behind the scenes. The email, allegedly sent by one of Jay-Z's key business associates, suggested a deliberate attempt to hide financial transactions. This revelation stunned the courtroom, throwing Jay-Z's legal team into damage control mode. With the credibility of his defense on the line, the music mogul now faced his biggest legal challenge yet.
Most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015. This has been going on for a very...
Morning, Houston attorney Tony Busby is speaking out again about the claims made by rapper Jay-Z through his company Roc Nation on Sunday. Over the weekend, a lawsuit claiming that Sean Diddy Combs The 13-year-old back in 2000 was amended to also accuse Jay-Z. His statement on Sunday slammed, but also called the rapper's allegations a, quote, coordinated and desperate effort to focus the public's attention on me personally to avoid attention on the allegations being made by my clients. Jay-Z has denied.
As the trial neared its climax, a bombshell piece of evidence came to light. A confidential email exchange that painted a troubling picture of financial dealings behind the scenes. The email, allegedly sent by one of Jay-Z's key business associates, suggested a deliberate effort to conceal financial transactions. The revelation stunned the courtroom and forced Jay-Z's legal team into damage control mode. With the credibility of his defense now at risk, the music mogul faced his most significant legal challenge yet.
Rich, famous, and powerful, Mr. Carter will exert all the pressure he can to intimidate and harass plaintiff, me, or anyone else. The chilling effect of these efforts is substantial, as is the potential chilling effect of a Rule 11 motion being brought in these circumstances. And finally, he also addresses in this letter one more thing. He addresses Jay-Z's lease court does not reflect any attempt by me to evade responsibility for anything. To the contrary, I have signed those pleadings and papers because I am lead counsel in this.